What's good, everybody? This is a picture of my wife. She doesn't twerk. She's not built like an Instagram model. She gets on my damn nerves. But she's the only woman I ever want to get on my nerves. To me, she's perfectly imperfect. In 2013, we got married, and in 2014, we had my first son. I remember we were both so excited to be parents that we were interviewing hospitals and doing tours of maternity wards. I mean, we got really into it. We finally settled on the hospital, and on July 10th, 2014, my first son was born. To this day, it's one of the happiest moments of my life. But things didn't all go perfectly at the hospital. After about 2 days, right, when we were supposed to be discharged to go home, my son still hadn't had a bowel movement. A specialist was actually in the hospital at that time, and she actually looked my son over and suspected that he might have a rare stomach condition. She turned out to be right. He was rushed to a NICU, and we didn't get to take him home from having him. We had to go to NICU, which we spent the next 21 days in a row. You know, I had imagined how being a father would affect me. And as much as my mind could, make sense of it all, I just wanted to be a protector. But as soon as we had my son, I realized that there were things I couldn't protect him from. No matter how much I tried, no matter how much I wanted to, he had to live his life. And he had his own burdens to bear. NICU was an interesting experience, and it wasn't in any of the books that we read about what to expect when you become a parent. 21 days in a row, we lived in NICU. I think the longest we ever left NICU was maybe 3 or 4 hours to go take a nap in an actual bed instead of those hard-ass hospital chairs that they give people. Me and my wife both were facing a failure that we couldn't really control as soon as we had my son. His stomach issues made it hard for him to eat, which is a mother's first instinct, is to feed her son. Because of his stomach issues, he wouldn't eat, and I couldn't protect him from what was in front of him. In NICU, on the first day, he didn't eat, and he started losing weight. And on the second day, he ate a little bit, and then he still lost more weight. Now, he was only 5 pounds, 13 ounces to begin with, so he was a very small baby anyway. Pretty soon into his stay, we realized that for whatever reason, I had a bond with him that no one else had, and I was the only one that could make him eat. Like, the nurses would try to feed him, and they'd give up after a while. They'd just say, oh, he was too tired, or he was tuckered out, is what one would always say. Every time it was time for him to eat, people had to come and get me. I was the only one that can make him eat. Somebody asked me why or how I was making him eat when no one else could. I've always known how powerful a father's words can be. And I was just crossing my fingers that my words would be as powerful. I was desperate for him to eat, so I decided I'd try to tell him who he was. I would always tell my son, you are loved, you are powerful, you are capable, you are a warrior, you are a lion, and you are a king. You can do anything, and you can do this. And he would eat. Somebody asked me how I knew to tell him that or speak to him in that way. And if I'm being honest, it's just how my wife makes me feel. And so I know if it works for me, those emotions, those realities would work for him. So without giving it to him, she gave it to him. By the way she affects me, it makes me a better man. I was just telling him that he could be everything that I felt like I was when I was with his mother. Energetically or spiritually, he latched onto it. And he went from losing weight every day to gaining weight every day. I had to feed him. I had to give him his pep talk. But we got out of that damn NICU. After 21 days, he was heavy enough that he could leave. And after another 3 months, he was heavy enough that he could have a corrective surgery on his stomach. Now I just think about how fortunate we are today that forming the proper sentence structure is his biggest life problem. I'm just so grateful. We went through a lot together in those 21 days, and it made us a lot closer. We were close already, but I didn't realize the resiliency and the resolve and the strength and the endurance and the grace and the power and the authority and the spiritual weight that my wife carried until we had our son and had those difficulties. Sometimes it's hard to identify, but she's taught me the worth and the value of a woman, a great woman in your life. When I was weak, when I didn't have it in me, when I was afraid, when I was vulnerable, when I felt helpless, my wife was strong. She gave me that relief. And I did the same for her. To this day, when my son is afraid, I give him that speech. I say it first, and then I say, "Who are you?" And he repeats it back to me. But those are the emotions that she ignites in me. Those are the realities that she brings forth with her support and her love. I'm not sure what I would have done in that situation with a lesser woman. And I'm not sure what she would have done in that situation with a lesser man. This is why I've made it my life's purpose to see to it that as many people as possible attain the type of love that I've experienced with her. My wife has been a guide. She's given me strength. She's supported me. She's believed in me. She's empowered me. She's motivated me. She's given me the tools to become the type of father that my son would need in a dire situation. I like to think I've affected her as well. But everyone should have love like this. That's why I'm a dating coach. That's why I'm a relationship coach. We hardly ever get to choose our problems or our circumstances, but we do get to choose our reactions to it. We do get to choose our partners. Make sure you choose well.